The lack of transparency in spending and prioritizing projects such as building of new facilities for the comfort of assembly members in county governments has been blamed for eating into the development budget of the devolved units.
My biggest problem is not that the speaker should have a house or that the governor should have a house. Is what is the most realistic cost of having a house? Because that's why I have a problem. And that brings me to the question of transparency. I have not seen any of the bills of quantities for any of this construction of these houses and swimming pools and the rest of the things, which is a requirement for procurement. And secondly, that will give us a detail of how much of this is actually realistic cost.
County governments face a huge burden of financing recurrent expenditure and as such need to devise innovative ways of growing their revenue. Coupled with the raising more funds is the need to take services closer to the residents and seal the loopholes that allow for the siphoning of public funds.
Citizens are only as comfortable to pay taxes as they see services being delivered. So your incentive to pay rates to the Nairobi City Council is that your parking spot where you come to park is actually clean, is actually secure, so that you don't have to pay parking and still pay for a security guy, to guard your car so that your traffic light, your headlights and your side mirrors are not stolen.
Some of the controversial mechanisms adopted by various county governments to raise additional funds include taxing street preachers and daily levies for some street vendors selling foodstuffs.
I find them a bit ridiculous, if not comic. But on the other hand, I think is what I say, that counties are in a hard place. They need to raise money. And therefore, it's a question of, I think the struggle here is how do you get the so-called informal and Juakali sector into the tax bracket.
Dr. Rugo knows that many counties do not produce their budget implementation reports, perpetually keeping the public in the dark on how billions of shillings were spent. As the country recovers from the economic slowdown due to the prolonged election season, IBP Kenya is hopeful that the devolved units will succeed to raise their revenues in order to enhance service delivery at the grassroots. Hudhaifa Aden, NTV.